Alright, so now we're going to move on to adding and subtracting integers. Now, what you need to understand about an integer is that an integer can either be a positive number, so it can either be, so like say like a number like 7, right? Or it can be a negative number like negative 17. Okay, so let's go through the process of adding and subtracting integers. So let's try the first problem. So it's going to be negative 12 plus 7. Alright, so let me just do this as an example. When you have a negative number and you add that to a positive number, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract that number, those two numbers. So you just treat it like subtraction. However, if the bigger number is a negative number, then the final answer will be negative. So what you do is you subtract 12 from 7, and then you put a negative in front. So what we can do already is just put a negative right after the equal sign. Now all we do is just subtract 12 from 7. So what is 12 minus 7? So 7 goes into 12 how many times? Or how much do you have to add to get 12? You add 5. So 12 minus 7 is 5. So the final answer is going to be negative 5. So whenever you have a negative integer and you add that to a positive integer, you just subtract the number. However, if that negative integer is bigger than the positive integer, you still subtract the number, but you add a negative in front. Let's try another process. Let's try negative 10 plus a negative 7. Okay? Now when you have two negative integers and you're adding them together, alright, all you have to do is just add the numbers, and then the final answer is you're going to have a negative in front of that number. So 10 plus 7 is equal to 17. So when you add these two negative integers, you get negative 17. Because all you do is you add the numbers, which is 17, and all you do is just bring the negative in front of that number 17. So the final answer is negative 17. Alright, let's try another one. Let's try negative 6 plus 12. Okay, so we have a negative number, which is negative 6, plus 12, which is a positive number. So what was the rule when we have a positive and negative number like this? We subtract. Okay. However, because 6 is smaller than 12, the final answer will be a positive number, right? A positive number. So, what is 12 minus 6? 12 minus 6 is 6. So the final answer is 6. So really, what this becomes is just negative 6 plus 12 is really just 12 minus 6, you know? But it's just written the opposite way, but it's the same exact process. Okay. Now let's go on to subtraction, subtracting the two integers. So let's try 2 minus negative 2. Okay. Now there's a rule you have to understand here. Okay. When it comes to negative and positive integers, if you say multiply, alright, if you multiply two positive integers, you get a positive integer, right? Okay, if you have a positive times a negative, you get negative. If you get negative times a positive, you get negative. And if you have negative times a negative, you get positive. Okay? So positive times positive is positive. Positive times negative is negative. Negative times positive is negative. And then negative times negative is positive. Okay. So when we go to this number right here, or this problem, 2 minus negative 2, what you have to do is you have to multiply out, alright, multiply out the signs. So negative times negative is, what was that? Positive. So 2 minus negative 2 is really 2 plus 2, which is equal to 4. Okay. Alright, let's try one more. Let's try negative 1 minus negative 3. So negative 1 minus negative 3. So this becomes negative 1. Now we multiply out the two negatives, right here. So negative times negative is positive, plus 3. So now what we have here is negative 1 plus 3. Now if you remember, if we have two opposite signs like this, then what you do is you subtract, right? And then if the negative number is smaller than the positive, then the whole number becomes a positive number. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So the answer is